So we're going to make a hollow pumpkin that we can put a tea candle in. Let's take a look at this one. I'm going to hit T for transparent. You can see that this pumpkin is hollow. And we're going to look inside. Nothing in there. There's a hole for a 39mm tea candle. I'm going to turn this back to a solid. And we're going to drag out a sphere. We're going to change the steps to 64 to make it nice and round. We're going to make it 40 by 40 by 60. Okay. I'm going to change the color to orange. And now we want to make a copy of this. So we're going to do a duplicate. And we're going to move the copy 30mm away. So we're going to change the step size to 5. And then we're going to move this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 40mm. 6 times 5 is 30. So we have moved it 40mm from this one. We are going to group. Now we are going to look at these two now, and we can see that we've got the profile of a pumpkin right here. This is where the stem's going to go. The bottom, we're going to lop off part of this, so it won't matter. So we now have the shape to generate a pumpkin. We're going to select both of these, and we're going to duplicate them, and then we're going to rotate them 22.5 degrees one time, and then we're going to do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We now have our pumpkin shape. You can see now that the pumpkin is 70mm across. We're going to select everything here. We're going to group it. And now we have a pumpkin that is 70mm by 70mm by 60mm high. We now have to hollow it out. To do that, we're going to make a copy of it. I'm going to move it aside. I want 2mm walls. Okay. I want 2mm walls, so we got to subtract 4mm from all the direction. So 70 minus 4 is 66. Again, 66. And then finally, 56. Okay. This is what we're going to use to make a hole. We're going to turn it into a hole, and we're going to move it over our pumpkin here. Go to a top view. So we're going to select both of these pumpkins, and we're going to align them. We're going to align them height and on the x-axis and on the y-axis. And then we're going to group them. When we look inside with a T for transparent, we're going to see that we now have a hole. And the next thing we're going to do is make a, turn it back solid. We're going to make a hole for our tea light. We're going to drag out a cylinder. We're going to make it 39 by 39. I'm going to make it smooth-sided, sides 64, hello, 128. We're going to move it over into our pumpkin, and we're going to look down from the top. We're going to select both objects. We're going to align them just on the y-axis and the x-axis, and we're going to group them. This may take a moment or two. We're going to look and see. There's no hole yet. We're going to watch. I'm going to hit T for transparent. And we can see that object that we're using to make a hole is still there. We are going to be patient while it makes that hole. So that's happening somewhere off in a cloud. Let's make it back transparent. We're going to start working on the stem for the pumpkin. We're going to drag out a cone. We're going to make the top radius 8. We're going to make the number of sides 12. and we're going to make it 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters by 16 seems to be pretty good. We're going to take that and we're going to change the color to green. Okay. We'll take a look and see if we've got our hole yet. Okay, we can see our holes there now. This pumpkin is 59 millimeters high. We're going to take this and we're going to make it 60 millimeters high off the work plane. So we can put it over into our pumpkin. We're now going to select the stem and the pumpkin. We're going to align them X and Y axis. And we're going to take a look and see what we got. Way too high. We're going to make the pumpkin transparent so we can see what's going on. We're going to take the stem and we're going to lower it down into the pumpkin. Take a look and see what we got. We're going to change our snap grid back to 1 millimeter. And we're going to move this down just a tad more, just below that little point of the pumpkin. And we now have our pumpkin with its stem. We're going to, again, hit T to show us what we've got. I'm happy with that. We're going to select both of these objects. We're going to group them. And in order to keep the color, we have to click on this color, orange color, and say multicolor on. This will keep the green color of the stem and the orange color of the pumpkin. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're going to hit D to drop it down just to make sure that it's on the work plane. If you look right here, right now, we have, right here, we have it 70.78 millimeters off the work plane. We want to drop it down to 0 millimeters. So now it's flat on the work plane. Still have our hole, that's lovely. Now the last thing, I had some problems printing this with the tree structure not adhering to the print bed. So we're going to grab ourselves a cylinder. We're going to make it 39 by 39, because that's, sorry, 38. 38, we're going to make it smaller than our hole by 38. And we're going to make it 0.4 millimeters high. The Bambu Studio, the A1 that we're going to use, this is 2 thicknesses. So this is going to be right in the middle of our pumpkin. This is something for the tree structure to build off of. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to align them on the Y-axis and the X-axis. I'll take a look. And you should see when I use the scroll wheel to blow it up that we got a little space. I'm rolling it back down. Using the scroll wheel to scroll out. I'm going to group all this together. Okay. It's now all one piece. I'm going to do T again, just to make sure that we still have our hole. There it is. There's our hole with a little plate on the bottom. T to go back. And what I'm going to do now, I want to save my work. So I'm going to go up into Basic Shapes and go to Your Creations. And I want to create a shape. And I'm going to select this and say Create a Shape. I'm going to give it a name. My pumpkin. Okay. And I'm going to lock it so that it doesn't change size. I'm going to save it. You can see over here in the corner it's saying Publishing Part. It's not done yet. I'm going to look over here. We see on My Pumpkin, but that's not the one that we just did. I'm going to delete this one. And we're still waiting for it to publish the part. It says it was successful. It needs to show up here. Looked to me like something was wrong. I didn't see it show up in the selected thing, so let's sit tight and watch. I'm going to do the create shape once again. I'm going to select my pumpkin. I'm going to do a create shape. Ah, there it is. I'm going to call this my pumpkin. I'm going to call this my nice pumpkin. I'm going to lock the part size because the holes was made for a T candle 39 millimeters, and if I don't lock it, somebody resizes it, the T candle won't fit. So now I'm going to save my shape. It says successfully created. See, it hasn't shown up yet. It says my nice pumpkin, but I want to see my nice pumpkin. Okay, so we're back. My nice pumpkin has showed up. Let's drag it on out and see how it looks. T for transparent, and lo and behold, it looks good. So I'm going to delete the one that I made it first. So now I have a nice pumpkin here. T to make it solid again, and I'm going to make a face for my pumpkin. So I'm going to go back into the, don't want that, cancel shapes. I'm going to go back into basic shapes, and we're going to make a pumpkin face. So I'm going to make traditional pumpkin face. So I'm going to drag out this little roof to make eyes. I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to rotate the thing sideways. I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. So take a look. I've got myself an eye. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to move it over some. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to duplicate it again. This is going to be my nose. I'm going to make it smaller, so I'm going to do a shift in this corner. That's going to make everything small. Lovely. I'm going to put it right there. Move these a little closer together. Move this there. I've got my face. I want them all to be up here. I want them all to be 40 millimeters high. Let's see if we can do this. 40. Nope. 40. So we have 40, 40. Everybody's 40 millimeters high. I'm going to drop, make sure that they're all, look at that. 40, 40, and 40, and drop it. Make sure they're all on the work plane. They're all on the work plane and they're all 40 millimeters. I now want to make a mouth. We're going to go straight down. We're going to go to the top view. Look at that. I'm going to grab myself a scribble tool out here and make a mouth. It's going to be a smiley mouth. I'm going to fill it in. So this is actually what we're going to use to remove all the material. Okay, just sweeping around ever so nicely. This. Got a few spots there. I'm going to use the pen tool to get rid of these spots. Okay. Now I'm going to give it some teeth. I'm going to use this tool down here, the Erase with Shape tool, to give it some teeth. And I want a tooth here, and a tooth here, and another tooth here. And I'm starting down here. I'm going to erase this tooth there, and a tooth here. Lovely. I'm going to say done. I'm going to make it 40 millimeters high like everybody else. Use the scroll wheel to get it sized nicely. And go home. And go to top view. And okay, and I'm going to move this here like so. Am I happy with that? Sure, why not? I'm going to select all of this to make it a whole. I'm going to group it together. And now I have a nice thing I can make a face with. I'm going to take it, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Where's the handle? There it is right there. 90 degrees. And I'm going to push this into my pumpkin. But first I want a nice view. That I can see that it's too low, so I want to move it up a little bit. Let's do a nice front view. And let's move it over a tad. We're happy with that. Yes. Let's make sure it's pressed in far enough. Ah, it's nowhere there. I'm going to use the arrow keys to push it into the pumpkin. Now I'm going to take a look. Looks like it's in far enough. Yeah. I don't want to push it through the back side. And now if I select these shapes and I group them, what should happen is it should remove the material from this pumpkin face. We'll give it a moment to do that. So take a look. Looks like our pumpkin face has been made. I'm going to hit T for transparent to make sure it looks nice. Looks like what we want. We're good. T again. Now we're going to select this object and we're going to export it. I want it in color, so I have to export it as an OBJ file. It's preparing the model for export. You see that over here in the lower left-hand corner. When it's ready to, when it's done this, you'll get an opportunity to pick where you want to save the file. Okay, it's done. You get a pop-up menu here, and it says, where do you want to save it? Notice that it's a zip file. I'm going to save it as Halloween Pumpkin. I'm going to call it number 9 for no good reason. Okay, so I'm going to save it in the downloads directory. Let's save it. It's saved. Now we're going to open it up, and because it's 2 files, we have to extract all the files. I'm just going to let it go into the downloads directory and extract it. I'm going to close this. We now have a file in the downloads directory that can be used by the Bambu Studio software to slice it. I'm going to open up Bambu Studio. I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to add that file in downloads, and we called it Halloween Pumpkin number 9. And the only thing in there is Tinker. There's 2 files, but just Tinker is all we care about. And here it comes in, and I'm not going to worry about the colors right now, but what you want to do is you want to go in here to your colors, and I'm going to pick 4 for my orange, and I'm going to pick 1 for my green, and I'm not sure why. There's another one of these here, but we're going to make that 4 as well. So I got that, and I'm going to say OK. And let's see what happens. So I have a pumpkin. Looks good. I'm going to slice it. There will be problems because there's no support. The warning. It seems object has floating regions. Please reorient it or enable support. So we are going to go back to prepare, and we are going to enable support. We're going to enable tree support, automatic tree support, and then we're going to go over into others, and for brim type, we're going to do both outer and inner brim. This is to assure that it works nicely. Now I'm going to slice it. Let's see what we get. And we'll take a look at it after it's sliced. So let's make it big, okay? And look at all the support. I'm going to take it down, okay, all the way down to the bottom. On the bottom level, you can see right here, this is the 38 millimeter piece we put in there, 0.4 millimeters high, to give the tree something to build on. I had trouble, things broke off, so here's our tree going up, okay? We have the main tree right here, and we have these two pieces right here, more trees. As it goes up, it branches out. So we have this tree support right here supporting the mouth. Okay? And we're going up. Let's see what we got inside here. Looks like the eyes, because they're sloping up, they're fine. Okay? We've got some green showing up here. I'm going to go all the way up, and the reason I put that plate on the bottom is because all these little pieces the tree started to sway in the breeze, so to speak. And there we are, all the way up to the top. And how long will it take to print this? Look over here again. This is a Bambu Lab A1. It's going to take 3 hours and 20 minutes to print it. And that's the whole build for this pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed it, and give it a shot yourself.